Hello hotel and motel owners, this is Ben from Customer Growth. Today we're going to take you through setting up a Google AdWords account. We're going to start from scratch today and we're going to set the basic campaign structure to minimize your advertising spend and maximize your profits. To begin with, we'll go into Tools, we're going to right click on Keyword Planner and we're going to open that in a new tab. Once we've opened up the Keyword Planner, we're then going to click on the top button, search for new keywords using a phrase, website or category. Now, first step is to enter the city that your motel is in. So for this example, we're going to pick Rockhampton. And then follow that with the type of accommodation. So you could be motel. We're also going to enter another one separated by a comma. So Rockhampton accommodation, self-contained accommodation, Rockhampton. Okay, so we've entered our main phrases now. We're going to look at targeting. So we want to focus on Australia. Next, we can click on Get Ideas. These are ad group ideas. So basically with your ad groups, you want to break down your ad groups into small segments. So Motel Rockhampton would be one ad group, Rockhampton accommodation would be another group, and then self-contained accommodation Rockhampton would be another group again. We do this because each person searching has a very specific need. If our ad can match that specific search very closely, then our ad will appear very relevant and we will receive a lot of clicks for that ad. Okay, to keep it simple, I'm going to highlight Motel Rockhampton. Done. I'm going to click Control and C. Done. I'm going to then click back to our Google AdWords page. I'm going to click on Campaigns up the top. Okay, we're going to create our first campaign now. We're going to click on Campaign. Now, this is very important. We want to select the second option here, Search Network Only. These other options we can try out later, but Search Network Only will normally give you the best return on your money. Okay, Campaign. Let's set it up. We're going to click on All Features before we do anything else. And then we're going to name our campaign. So basically just name your campaign to something relevant to your motel. So we'll call it Rockhampton Motel. Perfect. Okay, going down now, which locations do you want to target or exclude in your campaign? For accommodation, to begin with, I would recommend setting up your first campaign just to Australia, and then click on Location Options Advanced. Now, to begin with, we're going to set it up to people in searching for or who show interest in my targeted location as the recommended option. Scrolling down. So this is the bid strategy. Just to keep it simple for now, we're just going to leave it and we're going to set a default bid at $2 per click and a budget per day of $20. Your budget per day will depend on how many rooms you have and your current vacancy rates. If your motel has high vacancy, then spending more money on Google AdWords can help bring this vacancy down. But remember, when you create Google AdWords accounts, you've got to take into account it is also a long-term strategy. Every time you get a new customer at your motel, you're getting an opportunity to keep a long-term customer. One customer over 5 years may provide you with thousands of dollars in bookings. So keep that in mind when you're setting up your account. Okay, so budget set. We're now going to move down the page. We're going to skip over delivery method and ad extensions for now. They are very valuable, but for a basic campaign setup, we're going to move along and finalize it. Okay, under advanced settings, we can see here that you can set the schedule for when your ad will appear. Now, over time, if you track when people book through your ads, you'll notice trends such as people book a lot after 4 p.m. in the afternoon, for example. For now, we're going to set this at the time or opening hours of your business. So we'll close these and we'll just leave the last one open, and we'll set that all days, and we'll start it at 7 a.m. when our motel managers get up, and we'll finish it at 9 p.m. So this is when your ads will appear. Okay, so we get down to ad delivery, ad rotation. I'll open this up. I normally recommend clicking rotate evenly. We'll move down, we'll skip over dynamic search ads and campaign URL options, and we'll click save and continue. Okay, perfect. So now it's time to create our first ad. So if you remember back, we'll click on our keyword planner, and you'll remember our first ad was Motel Rockhampton. So this is a group, this is an ad group. So we're going to target this ad group around all the search terms that are very closely related to Motel Rockhampton. So we'll copy and paste that in. For a basic setup, we're going to enter Motel Rockhampton. You'll see on the right of this screen, 8 characters are left. I'd recommend trying to fill up this headline because it means that your ad will take up more real estate on the page. Okay, so here we could put in Motel Rockhampton accommodation. We'll type that in. But you'll notice it gets up to -6, so that keyword isn't going to fit. So we'll take it back and we'll put in Motel Rockhampton, Queensland. So description line 1, we're going to put in 1, 2, and 3 bedroom accommodation. One little trick here is if you enter a full stop at the end of this line, if your ad is a top ad, it will go up to the next line and it appears like a larger ad. So we'll enter a full stop here, and you can see on the right under the top ad it has now gone up. If we then take that full stop away, it will go away again. I recommend doing both ads. Create one copy with the full stop and one copy without when you first get started, and you can see which ad will convert more money for you. We're now going to go down to description line 2. Book your motel online today. Your ad is up to you. I would recommend typing in relevant terms into Google to see what comes up. See what other motels are doing, get some ideas, and start working on some ad copy. This is just a quick ad to show you an example. Your display URL is the URL that shows up in the ad. So it would be www.yourmotelname.com, and it might be .au. We're then going to set the final URL. We'll just leave it like that for now. Keywords. So if you remember, Motel Rockhampton was the main keyword we're targeting with this group. So we'll copy and paste that. So you can press Control and V, and that will put that in there. Okay, so here Google Adwords gets a bit interesting. So we've got this keyword in here. So if someone types it our ad Motel Rockhampton Queensland will show up. But if we leave the keyword in like this, it's considered a broad match keyword. A broad match keyword will show up for a lot of very similar phrases and relevant phrases. So, for example, we might show up for Motel Brisbane, which is not a relevant term. So, to keep it closer, we're going to make it a phrase match keyword. When you first get started, I'd recommend this match type to maximize your profit and minimize the wasted spend. Wasted spend is defined as people searching irrelevant terms for your business and clicking on your ad. This costs you a lot of money, and it also, secondly, decreases your click-through rate on your ads. Google will then penalize you for this, and you'll get a lower return on your investment in the longer term. Okay, so we've created our first ad, we've entered a keyword, and we've set the default bid previously. Okay, great. So we've created our first ad group, we've created an ad for the ad group, and we've entered a keyword. Okay, scrolling down, the default bid's already been set previously. We could save and continue, but we're going to avoid billing for now. So we're going to set up billing later. Okay, we're making some excellent progress now. We've created our first campaign, Rockhampton Motel. We've created our first ad group, and we've added a keyword. We're now going to go into our campaign, Rockhampton Motel, and we're going to click on our ad group, Motel Rockhampton, and we're going to click on the tick box. We're then going to click edit, copy, edit again, and then we're going to click paste. So paste one ad group into one campaign, and then we're going to click paste again. Okay, so you can see the campaign Rockhampton Motel and our ad group Motel Rockhampton has now been duplicated. So now we've got a second ad group called Motel Rockhampton, number 2. Why we do this? We do this because it creates all the settings of the first ad group and duplicates them. We're going to click on the little pencil icon, and we're going to change this ad group to Rockhampton Accommodation. We're then going to click on save. Okay, so now we've got 2 ad groups, Motel Rockhampton and Rockhampton Accommodation. We're then going to click on Rockhampton Accommodation. So you can see the keyword in there is still Motel Rockhampton. So we're going to click on it. We're going to click yes, I understand. And we're going to change this from Motel Rockhampton to Rockhampton Accommodation. And we're going to leave it as a phrase match. A phrase match basically means that the keywords have to appear in the correct order and contain both these keywords for it to appear. So that means that if someone types in Brisbane Accommodation, it won't appear. But if someone types in Brisbane Rockhampton Accommodation, although unlikely, it would appear. We're then going to click save. Okay, so we've got our keyword, which matches our ad group. Now we have to make the ad match our keyword and ad group. So we're going to change this ad here to Rockhampton Accommodation. You can see here that that's got 0 spaces left, so that's a great first start. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom accommodation. Book your motel online today. With your lines here, you want to have a call to action, whether that is call our motel today or book your motel online. We're going to click mobile because our website's responsive. and then we're going to click on save. Okay, so let's look at it from the top now. So we've got Rockhampton Motel as our campaign. If we look at our ad groups, we've got Motel Rockhampton and Rockhampton Accommodation. So if someone types in Motel Rockhampton, this ad group will show its ad, Motel Rockhampton, Queensland. But if someone types in Rockhampton Accommodation, then the Rockhampton Accommodation ad will appear. What this does is it creates a really high relevancy for the searcher, and they're going to be a lot more likely to click on our ad. We're now going to repeat the process, and we're going to create one more ad group just to show you an example on how we're doing it. So we're going to click on all campaigns. We're going to click on Rockhampton Motel, and we're going to click on ad group, and we'll click one of these ad groups, edit, copy, edit, paste. And now we're going to go back to the keyword planner, and we're going to try and find another suitable keyword. Okay, so we've got here average monthly searches. One good idea you can work on is clicking on this to give you an idea of volume. So you'll see accommodation. That's a great keyword. It's got 459,000 searches each month. That's too many for us. But because it's accommodation, it's a very general keyword, and it is suitable for accommodation anywhere in Australia. So you'll find if someone here, for example, is looking up Alice Springs accommodation and your motel is in Rockhampton, your click-through rate on your ad will be very low. And this shows very low relevancy, and over time it will increase the cost of your advertising on Google. So we really want to try and find words with Rockhampton in it. We're going to look at apartments Yeppoon. Well, we're not in Yeppoon, so it's not a suitable keyword. Here we go, Rockhampton apartments. We're going to click on this. We're going to highlight it, and then we're going to click Control C. Go back to the top tab, and we're going to click on Campaign Management. We're then going to rename our ad group, Rockhampton Accommodation number 2. Highlight that and click Control V. We're then going to click on Save. Okay, so we've now got 3 ad groups: Rockhampton Apartments, Rockhampton Accommodation, and Motel Rockhampton. We're going to click on Rockhampton Apartments, and we're going to update the keyword Rockhampton Accommodation to Rockhampton Apartments. Then we're going to click on Save. We're then going to go to the ad, and we're going to enter Rockhampton Apartments here instead of Rockhampton Accommodation. We're then going to click on, wait a second, 1, 2 and 3 bedroom accommodation. Although Rockhampton Apartments is our keyword, accommodation still matches in well with our ad copy, so we're going to leave it for this one, and we're going to click on Save. Okay, so we've got 3 relevant ad groups around very specific terms. But now we need to build out each ad group to provide more keywords. So we're going to click on Motel Rockhampton. We're then going to click on Keywords, and we're going to click on Keywords here. You'll see here, Add Keyword. So you can enter a keyword yourself, but Google brings up ideas for relevant keywords. So we're going to click on Add Motels Rockhampton. That's another good one. Motels in Rockhampton, that's another good one. Motel Rockhampton, that's perfect. Rockhampton Motel, Motel in Rockhampton, Rockhampton Hotels and Motels. Now, this term may or may not be relevant. We're going to try and keep our searches highly relevant for now, because there's so much search volume that we don't need to go after every single keyword. Okay, so Motels Rockhampton on Bruce, that's a more specific term. So if our motel was on the Bruce Highway, which this keyword is referring to, it would be a perfect search term for our motel. Okay, we're going to click on keywords. So you can see here, you can enter one keyword per line, but Google also gives you heaps of ideas about suitable key terms. So Rockhampton Motels is the first one. That's perfect. We're going to add that. Motels Rockhampton, perfect. Motels in Rockhampton, perfect. So we'll go through this list and we'll add the relevant ones. Some of them may not match up. So you can see here, Cosmotel. So we've created our ad groups. We're now going to put more keywords into each ad group. So we'll click on Motel Rockhampton. We'll then click on keywords if it's not already selected. We'll then click on the red button plus keywords. So now it's up to you. You can enter a keyword on this line here and then enter another keyword, or Google also gives you great ideas for suitable keywords. So you can see the top three here, they're great keywords. We're going to enter them. But you'll also notice Motel 98 Rockhampton. So this is a competitor to us, and we're going to avoid this keyword. Central Park Motel, another competitor, but there's more. Motel in Rockhampton, Motels Rockhampton, Queensland. Okay, so that's a good start. We're then going to click on Save. Okay, so now you'll see, so this term here in inverted commas was a phrase match that we referred to before. So if someone types in Motel Rockhampton, your keyword will activate your ad. But these terms here don't have the inverted commas around them. That makes them a broad match keyword. A broad match keyword will show for basically any search term closely relevant to these words here. So for example, Rockhampton Motels. This keyword here will activate Brisbane Motels also. So it's important for us to be a bit more selective with our match type. So we're going to highlight our keywords, excluding the bottom keyword, which we've already selected a phrase match for. We're then going to click on Edit, and we're going to click on Change Match Types. From here, so we're changing it from broad match, and we're going to make it phrase match. We're going to click on Make Changes. Okay, so all these terms now are phrase match. So Motels Rockhampton will show up, and it will activate your ad if someone types Motels Rockhampton. But it has to be in that order. Okay, so we've done that. So Motel Rockhampton is ready to go. We would then repeat the process for Rockhampton accommodation and Rockhampton apartments. Okay, I think that's enough for one day. We've created a campaign. We've created 3 ad groups, and we've filled out keywords in one of those ad groups. Thanks very much for taking the time to go through the video, and I believe if you follow the structure of this video, you'll be able to save a lot of money with higher relevancy for your ads on Google Adwords.